no one is above the law. And in America, we have to stand on the rule of law, irrespective of politics. Secondly, the handling of classified materials is a very serious matter in this nation. My years as Vice President, my years serving on the International Relations Committee in the House of Representatives. It's important that we protect the nation's secrets. It's one of the reasons why, after the multiple disclosures at President Biden's home of classified materials that he had retained from his days as Vice President and as President, that we thought it was appropriate for us to have our records examined. And we found that there was a small number of classified materials that had been stored inadvertently with our materials as well. We fully cooperated with the FBI's investigation. I took full responsibility for it. I'm pleased that last week the Department of Justice determined that it was an innocent mistake. And let me be clear, it was a mistake. Protecting the nation's secrets is absolutely vital to securing this country in the days ahead. Now, on the matter involving the president's indictment, let me be clear. As much of the national media rushes off with a predictable rush to judgment, no one knows the facts. It's the reason why this morning I called on Attorney General Merrick Garland to unseal the indictment immediately and stand before the American people and answer questions as to why an indictment of a former president of the United States was appropriate in this matter. I learned just moments ago that the Department of Justice has scheduled a press conference this afternoon, and I welcome that. The American people have a right to know why it was necessary for the first time in history to bring an indictment of this nature against a former president of the United States. Finally, I think it's important to remember that in America, everyone is entitled to be presumed innocent until they're proven guilty. And the former president has every right to a presumption of innocence in the days and months ahead as this matter proceeds. And I would just urge all my fellow Americans in two ways. Be patient. No one knows exactly what the facts and the law are in this case, and I think it's important that we wait. And each American will understand the facts, and we can each make our own judgment about whether or not this was an appropriate action or whether or not there's one more example of the politicization and weaponization that's taken place in the Department of Justice in recent years. And finally, I just encourage people to pray. Pray for the former president and his family as they endure this latest controversy. I pray for all those in positions of authority, that they would have wisdom and be committed to justice. And in the end, I'd say pray for all the American people in these challenging times.